Hello everyone, I'm Brett, and welcome back to a Mortician's Tale. I don't know how far I am in this because I'm recording this at the end of the episode and because I'm planning to split it into two. So, let's get into it. February 28th. Oh, only 2 weeks this time, not a full month skip. Come in. Think to avoid saying at a funeral. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving family can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people, but fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who's grieving. So here it is, Funerals Monthly's Top 5 things to not say at a funeral. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. It's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be a jerk and just don't say that. Were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is it not always comforting, it can also be insulting. They're with the angels now. See above's note. Then rinse, repeat. Let me know how I can help you. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant, or buy tickets to see a movie together. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus on this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. Mushrooms! You ate mushrooms so much I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death, I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing to you on my phone so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, and that neutralize toxins in the bodies, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're on the ground, right now. Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry, but seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet, and it hasn't been easy. Thought I'd pass this along to you. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. Charlie was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation, and yet anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for a cremation, but the families demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later this afternoon. Charlie, is the suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. Matthew did offer to take this body, so I think, no. They're not respecting his wishes at all. And I understand that Matthew's at least offering to do it. If Matthew wasn't, I would have taken it just because I know they were in financial troubles. But since Matthew did offer to take it, the deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Wait, is this the one? Let's start by cleaning the body. No, this is a lady. This is Rosie's body. Massage the body. Getting you nice and supple there, Miss Rosie. Getting you nice and supple. Let me get you your beauty sleep. And your little last snacky snack. I'm not that fast at sewing. I don't think lotion works over a towel. Incision. Tube. Cannula. More tubes. Turn it on. Massage. Getting you nice and supple. Giving you a nice massage. Making you feel like a brand new woman. I think I'm doing great. There we go. Oh, I got 2 of them. Hell yeah, that was cool. Mike will take care of Mr. Rosie's makeup as well as dressing and putting her in the casket. Look at all those urns. Hey, it's a pink-haired girl again. Give my respects. It doesn't look like her at all. Oh. Oops. Did I fuck it up? Where's Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the food. Did you try that already? Food makes everything better. Quiet sobs. I haven't cried since she died. Not once. How is Anna crying and not me? I'm the one who lost a parent. That's not... Look at that ass. That's not fair at all. Everyone grieves differently. And I'm not gonna say you're heartless for not crying. She's no longer suffering or in pain. Yeah, she's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. Everyone grieves differently, and I'm not gonna say you're heartless for not crying when your mom dies or anything. But also, you shouldn't be angry that someone is crying if you feel like you should have, if you feel like you were closer to the deceased than they were. Because obviously their relationship with grief and their relationship with the person is different than you were thinking. Oh, it's only been another like 2 months. Come in. Sorry about not doing the not cremation of the guy that wanted cremated. Cremation. Oh. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be familiar with. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body and to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with death, but the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and burial. Funeral practices are strictly religiously focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families begin to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the turning of the bones or the Famadihana? I'm sorry for how I pronounce that. A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Famadihana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and a way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. It's nice to hear what the different traditions that different cultures have to do with death as well, because I'm at least I can speak for myself. I'm so used to just the normal way it's shown in media, and every funeral I've been to has been the same. There's the casket, and everyone's dressed in their black, and kind of the way it's been shown our funerals in this, but we're still getting information about different cultures and their funerals, which is nice to read. You're invited to a death cafe. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity." See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday, Death Cafe. Can't really write much now. I have a lot of work I have to do with the inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is the sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding to you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death-positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Matthew Jeffrey. Can I just say first off that this is bullcrap? Ugh, knowing how those corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in now, and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. Yes, if you're reading this, Hillside Overlord, good. Welcome. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. They will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Chad Grant. I should be named Chad. What a loser. Rose and Daughters is the newest funeral home to join Hillside Heritage, proudly serving 56 different communities nationwide since 1964. Rose and Daughters features several available packages for burials and cremations, a spacious visitation suite for added comfort, and catering available on site. Rely on our dedicated and friendly staff to help you with your funeral needs, whether you need our immediate assistance for a loved one or would like to pre-plan your own final arrangements. Our services... We offer many packages fitted to suit every size of gathering and budget. Ask us about our selection of caskets, urns, and headstones, the largest in the country. Funeral packages, bronze funeral package, an intimate gathering and memorial for your loved one, customized to fit your individual needs, best suited for groups 25 to 50. Silver funeral package, small but special celebration for your loved one, best suited for groups of 50 to 100. Gold funeral package, give your loved one the best we have to offer, a large gathering to celebrate your loved ones, best suited for groups over 100, subject to additional fees and taxes, payment plans available. Call us for a quote. They don't just list the prices online, you have to call them first. I don't think I've ever seen a funeral over 100 people, but also I live in a very small area and all the funerals I've been to have been very small. I might have seen some that went over 50. Interesting. Cremation. Leah Ionesco. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you, Leah. Charlotte, below are the details for your next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly, and after you're done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. I'll get right to it. No, she was in a bike accident. Are we talking like bicycle or like motorbike? Either way is terrible. I'm just curious. Prepare Miss Ionesco's body for cremation. We have the watch. Round tag. Great. At least cremation's not hard to do, so I can't fuck it up. Using an accumulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Yep. Earn skull first. Matthew will take it in now because Chad is too much of a big boy to go to the little small town funeral, and Amy Rose isn't here anymore. Still got the pink haired girl. You come pay my respects. There's a lot more people in this funeral than the other ones, I believe. Most of them have been like less than 25 people. Or like 6 people. Usually. So glad it was cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. She was always so careful. Wear her helmet, signal, use bike lanes, asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them without asking about the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Oh. Let me just walk onto you. I have to go through with all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks, but no. I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Haha, yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah, she was special. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. Yeah, I think this is the first young person we've done in the game. March 24th. Everyone else has been... Well, no, there was the one lady that died of breast cancer. I don't know how old she was. She wasn't old and died of old age, though. Home funerals, why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume that this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities for family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased's body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, and flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or pure burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is the route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones, if so choose. Dr. Zaius? I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on his hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie! A human being! We as a species have seen the beginning of our end. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this at the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost-effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so do try your hardest to convince the family requesting green burials to choose instead a traditional burial package complete with embalming, caskets, and falls instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. Ew, I don't like him. Hello, as stated in a previous email, here are the new rules and codes of conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this, is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell, i.e. always encourage the deceased's loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased's loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner catering concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition into the high-quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. is known for. They hate this. Charlie, you need a drink. Beer after work? P.S. I also really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry, and no, I will not say hangry, ever. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. has received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. is being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here, as it is the more cost-efficient of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. I'll take care of it. I hate how heartless this man is. No, there might not be anyone at the funeral. Will we even have a funeral? Before we cremate this, gentleman will need to prepare his body. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that would be damaged during cremation, so let's just worry about putting his identification tag on the coffin with him. Should we check for a pacemaker just in case? Oh, there's the fire whistle. Not the alarm, I'm fine. I like purple it is. Purple's my favorite color. Using the cremulator will break these bone fragments down. Yeah, blah blah blah. Just plain iron, not a fancy one. I like the physics of the bones. Presented along. Okay, so we are presenting it. I don't think anyone will come for it though, because we don't know. We can still pay respects. There's no food. No one here, but we'll still pay respects because we should, for whoever this man was. April 9th. A few more weeks. I have tattoos, don't I? I do have tattoos and they are visible right now. I kissed her. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Water cremation. We can call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Or perhaps more commonly, resination. It is a technical name, though. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, it's here and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment. The high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect has been one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkali and water heated up to very high, about 350 degrees. It basically works like a sped-up version of the natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water in a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than the traditional cremation process. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and in some places it became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. That's interesting. So it's kind of like being... you're making soup. Sorry, that's a terrible joke. I guess they're dating a special effects makeup artist, and she's like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but was so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who've been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw, Jason, Michael, guy, I can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say, like, that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good. Feel fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing a cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her at the top of the Ferris wheel, be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock at your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. What was my... Register a business. Enter keyword and select the best match. Interested in starting a funeral services business. You need the following permits and license. Page 104. A bunch of stuff. Legal stuff. Ooh. Charlie's official. I put in my 2 weeks notice. You'll know how unhappy I am working for a mega corporation when I want. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not too worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. We are thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. subsidiary Rose and Daughters just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us to access all of the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc.'s bright and sustained future. Regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she gets a proper send-off. Thanks. I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you, the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. Sell. I promise you, your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was, beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with our prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going to fight through a hard time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier for you. Okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Charlotte, I see we're not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose this sale. Please read this in closed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. This is part of your job. Absolutely the fuck not, it's not. Sure thing, I'll get right to it. This is not part of my job. My job is to prepare the bodies as the deceased and their family wants them. Not to become corporate capitalist scum and try to squeeze as much money out of these support grieving families as you want me to, Mr. Chad. Just because you're a heartless, cruel bitch, Chad, doesn't mean that I have to be a heartless, cruel bitch, Chad. Maybe have a little bit of a heart and realize that these grieving families know what them and their loved ones would want more than you ever could. Chad, bitch, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you? These people are already going through a hard time, and instead of just helping them like your fucking job is, you're gonna stand here and try to squeeze every little dime out of them that you fucking can because you're just a piece of scum. Ugh. I think I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I'm just trying to focus on preparing this lady's body. And also, I'm pissed at Chad, this heartless corporate scum. And I hope that we make our own business and we're 500 times better than fucking Chad is. Jesus. I'm mad now. I don't have to hit them twice, I just have to keep holding it after it goes gray. All done, Mike will take care of my system, cause Mike? Who the fuck's Mike? Well, my camera strikes. I hope the game's over soon because I'm out of my juice. It's fine. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. Shh, it's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. Me too. Just little snippets. Makes me want to hug everyone I love and tell them I love them. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh, hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I heard that one show was so good. I saw that video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It seems really nice out. Would be good to stretch my legs. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Oh, I didn't click on the arrow. Click on the arrow. August 30th. This is months later. This is like, not 6 months. Maybe 6 months? 5 months. And this is a different... Am I the CEO of my own business? Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying not to be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. P.S. Have you heard about those green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tags, I'll shoot it over to you. You're never gonna believe what new job I'm working on now. Open this email to find out. Hey, hiya Charlie. When I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I concentrated on my driving skills since I'm now working as a, wait for it, bus driver. A school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried you'd think less of me. But I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute. But don't tell Amy I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Be seeing ya, Matthew J. Charlie, dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose of Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Magnolia Forest, funeral home and natural burial park. Our services. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surrounded the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and green burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved one from the comfort of your home, be present during their cremation, or bury them at our national cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and to provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they so choose. Prices. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000, all inclusive. Green burial and service, $2,250 for adults, all inclusive. Direct cremation, $600, all inclusive. Infants are buried at no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. This is nice. It actually feels like a nice, good funeral home that's actually trying to be there for the families and not just there for the bottom line. Eileen Hansen. Today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. Best, Eileen Hansen. I'll see you soon. Ooh, I like my little dress. And I'm allowed to have my tattoos and show them. Oh. It's a park. And they're burying it. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much. But thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Oh, I don't get to talk to all of them? Oh. But that's sweet, and it's a very personal way to bury them. I mean, there's no problem with having a traditional funeral if that's what you and the deceased wanted. But I think forcing people into a traditional funeral when there are other options that they might appreciate more is very gross, especially the way he was doing it, just trying to sell more. So, more. Upsell. Take advantage of these grieving families who've gone through a tragic loss. This was a nice game, though. And like I was saying, it's always good to think more about death sometimes. I mean, not all the time. Some people it works for it, some people, but I think you should, if you're afraid of death or if you're uncomfortable with death, you should push yourself a little bit to become more comfortable with it, because it is a natural part of the human existence. Pets die, friends die, family die. Eventually everyone dies, and you don't have to embrace it with open arms, but you do have to be ready for it and let yourself accept it, that it's going to be part of life, so you don't so it won't be as bad when it does come for you, for people around you. That was a nice game. I like that game. Okay. Now, outro for both of them. This is what I have for you today for a Mortician's Tale. I really liked this game. It was very nice. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!